Well, Photobug fans, I'm here in Madagascar with my new friend. I got Dale Morris.
Hi Jim, morning. How are
Dale,
you?
how are you doing this morning?
Good.
This is our last day, unfortunately, in Madagascar, and I roped poor Dale into doing this interview because you just don't like doing interviews, isn't that correct?
Not my cup of tea, really.
Well, you're doing great. I want to talk a little bit about you and the workshops that you conduct. And see if I get this correct. You were born in the UK.
I was, yep, in London.
You lived in Australia for a while?
Only a few years,
A
yeah.
few years, and now in South Africa.
South Africa, but between then was a few years in Thailand, 8 years in Costa Rica,
Costa Rica.
a year and a half in Nigeria, and I think there was a few places in there as well. Ecuador and Greece.
So you've been everywhere.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Well, I really appreciate you sitting down with us, and the trip we had has been fantastic. We've had 3 weeks, very, very busy 3 weeks. Some slow trucks, some rough roads. But of all the workshops you do, I know you got Borneo, and you don't do Costa Rica any longer. But
No, I lived in Costa Rica,
But-
but no, I don't do tours there.
And you
per
do
se.
Brazil?
Yeah, Pantanal, Ethiopia, when it's peaceful again, to look at the geladas and the wolves in Ethiopia. Next stop is Antarctic, a few days after I get home from this
Antarctica.
trip, and India.
Well, that's a change from the weather here to Antarctica.
It
isn't
will be
Yeah.
from probably plus 40, I don't know what it is in American, 90 degrees or so
Yeah.
to below zero.
Yes. Of all the places that you conduct tours, do you have a favorite?
I don't have a favourite, no, they're all unique.
It's whatever you are at the time. So
No, I love to feel I'm doing something different. I couldn't be stuck in the same routine. So for me to spend a few weeks here in Madagascar and see all of the wonderful unique animals here, such as the lemurs and the tenrecs and the fossas and the aye-ayes, you can't see that anywhere else.
and we saw them all.
And we saw them all, didn't we?
Except for what was it, the red-bellied?
the red-bellied lemur.
Red-bellied
Yeah,
lemur.
that
Oh, well.
stayed hidden from
Have
us.
to come back and get that one.
And then you go over to Brazil and you have jaguars and hyacinth macaws and giant anteaters and beautiful giant otters, which are my favourite.
Borneo, you got the
Orangutans and all those
yeah.
weird and wonderful creatures that live in the rainforest. So as long as I'm doing something different throughout the year or throughout my life, I keep a smile on my face.
You have an interesting background. You also did research and also worked with primates. Is that
Yes,
correct?
yeah, for 8 to 10 years, working with universities, mostly from Canada and the States, and some in the UK, helping set up field sites, research projects for anthropology departments.
Is that all over Costa Rica? And,
Mostly Costa Rica, and then also involved with primate conservation in Nigeria and chimpanzee orphanages.
you know, I volunteered at a primate sanctuary, so
Yeah, so
that
we
doesn't
share
come
something in
anywhere
common.
near what you would
We share something in
accomplish.
common in there. Yeah, looking after orphaned animals and bringing them up to health, and it's very, it's very rewarding work.
Yes.
If not financially, from the heart.
Yes. And I also want to mention that on your tours, they're small person. You're limited to 6 people.
Yes, yeah.
Which is fantastic because it gives you, and although these aren't really workshops, but it still gives you a chance to teach techniques, and an old dog like me learned a few new techniques.
Well, photography is an ever-evolving thing. You're always learning. I'm learning actually from guests as well.
Yeah.
So 6 people, I wouldn't want to do more than 6 because that does give me the ability to help somebody who needs help or answer questions from somebody who has questions. And also, I think very, very importantly, especially in a forest environment like Madagascar, where there's only limited space to see the animals because of branches and leaves and so forth.
Yeah.
Small groups, I can get everyone, and everyone can get into a position that they can see and photograph the animal.
Yeah.
Larger groups, no, I wouldn't like to do that.
And I don't blame you, I wouldn't either.
No, it's
I
not
prefer
fair- not fair
smaller
on the
groups.
people.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you have any kind of technique or any advice you would share with a photographer that's coming on a tour such as this?
Imodium.
Yes, lots of Imodium.
No, let me
Yeah,
think about that question seriously. What would I suggest? Well, kit-wise, 100 to 400 range is essential. You know, there are bird photographers out there that would like a little bit more reach on their lenses, but you then
We've
have to
learned
carry that around.
Lenses are never long enough.
No, they're not,
They're
but they
never,
certainly are heavy enough.
Yeah, sure they are.
Patience.
Yeah.
Patience. Madagascar is an incredible place, and a lot of the animals are very endangered. And the parks, or some of the parks we go to, are quite small, and the animals are at least used to seeing people. So they're not running away, or in this case, swinging away from you through the trees.
How about flexibility?
Flexibility, a level of fitness and
Yes.
durability. The roads in Madagascar can be very rough, as you've experienced, Jim. Potholes,
I
more
have.
pothole than road.
Got the shakes.
You should come here with an adventurous spirit. That's what I say. Don't expect things to work in Madagascar the same as they would in North America, for instance. But if you have an adventurous spirit, you have a great reward from coming here, and I think you've really enjoyed yourself.
Oh, absolutely, yes. Yep. I would highly recommend it. And the company that you're working with right now is Oryx.
Yes, that's correct.
And do you have a website that we can share?
Yeah, it's oryxphoto.com. Simple as that.
Put that down here. And does that has I assume links to your own personal website?
My
or
own personal.
You're on.
Yeah, I've got my own personal website that is connected to Oryx. It's not for selling tours. It's more about my
Right.
editorial
Well, that's why I
work as a
want people to
journalist.
see your work.
Yeah, and that would be dalerrmorris.com.
DaleRMorris.com. Good.
Yeah.
Well, Dale, I know you have to leave today, and so I don't want to tie you up any longer. So you get a fist bump from you.
It's been
and,
a pleasure spending these weeks with
hope
you,
to
Jim.
see you again. Yes.
Yeah, I do. I very much hope to see you again.
Great. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.